What's good, y'all? It's your boy Muhammad Sanu. We here live at a Trail Report. You know what I'm saying? My boy C Hill. Y'all better stay tuned. You heard? Being talk.
NFL Hall of Famer Cris Carter says Aaron Rodgers is being selfish this spring. You know he wants to play, but he just didn't want to make up his mind. You need to spend some time away from the game. It's been a couple months from the Super Bowl. Now's that time before the draft, the mini camps. They're an average team in the league. Aaron Rodgers is like a lot of these quarterbacks when they get to this stage. They're so selfish. They never want to be called that, but they're so selfish and they're so self centered. Carter also said he's got one more place he can play. That's in Pittsburgh, the place he played in last year. That happens to have his ex coach. To add on to that, to pile on, also ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter also said it shouldn't be that hard for quarterback Aaron Rodgers to decide whether or not he spends another season as the Pittsburgh Steelers starting quarterback. Woo, okay. So Aaron Rodgers is in the news. That's not a shock to anyone. People are very heated, I guess you could say, at him for not making up his mind, being uncertain, and taking his time making the decision on if he's coming back to play or not, or what's going on. Like I said, ESPN insider Adam Schefter said it shouldn't be this hard to make a decision. Cris Carter echoed that, saying that you guys heard in multiple reasons that he should be able to make his decision, and saying that he is one of these quarterbacks that happens to be so selfish and so self-centered. I have this to say. I'm so glad someone finally said it. I'm so glad that somebody finally said it. Now, let me say this. I have absolutely no problem with Aaron Rodgers as a person. He's a chill dude, much like me. Obviously, you guys know I'm chill. Um, you know, so welcome to the Chill Report. I'm chill. Anyway, he's a chill dude like me. I love his swagger that he has. That he carries around. I guess you could say the confidence, the swagger, the aura, the going on silent retreats and being kind of, not really fazed by anything and being a cool dude. And I respect his personality as a person. I respect his accomplishments as a NFL quarterback. He's a 4-time MVP, 5th all time in passing yards for a quarterback all time. 4-time MVP once again, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP. I respect his career. I respect him as a person. But the one thing that I can never argue with anyone is what Cris Carter said. I cannot argue the fact that he makes it, I'm not going to say he is, but he makes it look like that he is a very selfish player at times. I'm just putting that out there. The reason why I say that is because the waiting, and this happened last year when he even went to the Steelers, and it was a whole thing. And I happen to know a lot of Steelers fans, or a good amount of Steelers fans, I'll say. And with Aaron Rodgers, it's always the thing of just, number one, he isn't the ideal choice. I hear a lot to be the quarterback, but if he is going to be the quarterback, he should be all in. Pause on that. But Aaron Rodgers is a guy that cannot make a decision, it seems like. It seems like that he is very kind of, you don't really know. He's that kind of guy. You never really know what he's thinking, never really know what he's leaning towards, never really know what decision he's going to make, if he's going to retire, because from all I knew, and I'm pretty sure you guys heard this too, after last season with the Steelers, he was supposed to retire. But of course, they got his ex-coach, like Cris Carter said. They got his ex-coach from Green Bay, Mike McCarthy. So, of course, all things are aligning for him to come back. But he still isn't officially back. And even when he first signed with the Steelers the first time, he was on beaches during free agency and taking his time and trying to see what team he wanted to go to, which I understand a mulling period, mulling your offers and everything like that. So figuring out where's the best place for you, or do you want to retire? I get all of that. Figuring that out, trying to figure out what's the best place for you. I have no problem with that. I just feel like that he also has to take into account the teams, because the Steelers don't have all offseason to wait on, to see if Aaron Rodgers is going to come back. Now, granted, they have kind of put themselves in a corner, with him being, the guy, then bringing in his ex-coach, and him more than likely being the guy that's going to be the quarterback next year, unless they draft a quarterback this year, which I don't doubt they won't. I think they will potentially look that way to draft a quarterback, to try to get someone new in, just to try to move from this veteran quarterback, used quarterback, kind of era they're in now. I don't doubt that they'll probably go with someone in the draft. But honestly, I don't necessarily think they don't already have the guy they can look toward now. I mean, Will Howard is an option. He is a national champion, and we haven't been able to see what he can do. So Will Howard, I feel like, can be a interesting, at least interesting season, with him being the guy at quarterback, to see what he can do. Even if you draft a quarterback, let Will Howard be the guy for a while, just to see what he has and see what he can do, see how the team responds to him, and just see what you have in your quarterback room. I feel like putting all your eggs in the Aaron Rodgers basket is never a good option for any team at this point of his career, as we've seen how indecisive Aaron Rodgers is and how unpredictable he is. I think that is a very risky thing to do, putting everything in the Aaron Rodgers basket at this point in time of his career. But I also understand the risk that they took last year. Aaron Rodgers, it was kind of a given that he was going to go to the Steelers anyway last year if he didn't retire. I know he was thinking about going to the Vikings, but the Vikings pretty much said they didn't want him. And so he kind of had no choice but to go to the Steelers, but he still kind of waited it out. So it's just a lot of controversy that goes on around Aaron Rodgers. It's just kind of what you are faced with when you bring Aaron Rodgers into your organization. Now, I can't lie and say that he honestly hasn't earned the right to be a little big-chested, a little arrogant. I can't say that he hasn't earned that right. Like I said, 5th all-time in passing yards for a quarterback in NFL history, 4-time MVP, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP. He's done a lot in his career, don't get me wrong. So he's definitely earned his place to be confident. I just feel like the controversy isn't necessary. Tom Brady is a perfect example, like when I always compare him and Aaron Rodgers. Tom Brady, in my opinion, is the greatest quarterback of all time. When he went to Tampa, he didn't wait 3.5. He didn't wait the whole offseason to announce he was going to Tampa. Everyone knew he was going to Tampa, and what that allowed the team to do was build the team around Tom Brady. So what that helped them do is, okay, so we got Tom Brady, we got the glue, right? We got the glue, so let's start building pieces around Tom Brady. Let's bring back Gronk. Let's bring back these pieces and bring this receiver in and that receiver in, and bring in pieces to make the team come together. And we've seen it paid off by them winning the Super Bowl. With the way Aaron Rodgers goes about things, to Cris Carter's point, it comes off as very selfish because he's just waiting, I feel like, just because he can. And that doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help the team. It doesn't help because you try to build a team around, try to get him some weapons or whatever. What if he just retires? And I don't think that's going to happen, but I mean, it can. He's not back yet. So if he just retires, then you built the team for him and he's just gone now. So it puts the team in a handicap position because they don't want to build something not knowing if you're going to be there or not. Now, granted, for the Steelers, they've already built an extremely nice and interesting team. Bringing in receivers, Michael Pittman Jr., stuff like that. Bringing in receivers bringing in players and receivers that I feel like can definitely help. And I feel like they definitely will be better than they were last year. And it's going to be interesting to see how Mike McCarthy kind of, does things, so that's going to be pretty interesting. Coming from the Cowboys to the Steelers. So it's going to be a show for sure. But I feel like the Steelers have a good team, so that's on their side. But to Cris Carter's point, it's selfish because they've built this team and they still don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they're going to look at a quarterback in the draft. If not, I'll be a little surprised. Just because, why not? I mean, you have Will Howard. You don't have to play a quarterback you drafted. I mean, they proved that last year with Will Howard. They didn't play Will Howard. A lot of teams draft quarterbacks that they don't play. And that's a topic for a different day, but it happens a lot. They draft quarterbacks that they don't play. They just draft them. So if anything happens to the starter, we have potential in the quarterback room. So I feel like they definitely will look for a quarterback in this upcoming draft. I don't know who that quarterback will be. I'm not even going to lie to you guys and say I know who it possibly could be. I don't. But they definitely, in my opinion, should look for one. But I feel like it's just selfish from Aaron Rodgers' point, and I'm so glad from Aaron Rodgers' view of it, like his side of it. It's so perceived selfish in my opinion, and I'm so glad that someone said it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of his teammates probably have said stuff about it and stuff like that. But I'm glad that someone has brought it up to a point to where it's being brought up again. I love that people are just call it what it is, because I mean it's true. I mean it's not ignorable anymore. I mean, even to the point of stuff like this, and I understand that every person has their different way of dealing with things, right? I have no problem with that at all. But and I go back to this all the time, even with the Davante Adams thing, when Davante Adams left Green Bay, you're mad at your receivers. You're calling out your receivers because they don't do certain things, or they don't necessarily. I guess you expected them to do the same kind of things that Davante Adams can do. I mean, I hate to state the obvious, but Davante Adams is an elite receiver, especially at that time. He still can run with the best of them, but especially at that time, he was the best receiver in the league. So Davante Adams is an elite receiver at that time, right? And you're mad at your rookie receivers and new receivers that just was brought to the team that they can't do the stuff that he does. That should be obvious. I mean, what player can you expect to fill the void, I guess, of Davante Adams? Nope. At that point, it's certain players, and we'll get back to Aaron Rodgers after this. I just have to use this quick avenue really quick. It's certain players you cannot fill the void of. You just can't. You can't fill the void of. I'm a LeBron fan. No matter what you do on a team or how you bring in players, or regardless of that, everyone wants a LeBron James, right? You want a LeBron James. Now, if LeBron James leaves your team, you have no choice but to bounce back and find players and build your team back up, right? That's natural. But you're not going to fill the void of LeBron James. That's not going to happen. Like, you can get players that's averaging 21 points a game, 22 points a game, 27.7 points a game. You can do all that. But it's not going to fill the void of LeBron James. It's not going to happen. It's just not. Nothing can fill that void. Nothing can fill the void of Patrick Mahomes. Nothing can fill the void of Lamar Jackson. Nothing can fill the void of Joe Burrow. Like, nothing can fill that void. It's just the player isn't here anymore, so we have to move on. If you're looking for that production, that same production and work ethic and reliability from that player that you bring in, then that's a downfall not only on your part, but that's also a terrible situation for the player, because I hate to say this, but not a lot of times do them players or players that you bring in to replace these elite people ever really live up to that. So they're just living up to an expectation of someone who used to be around. So that's not normally gonna fare well. You know what I mean? So it's just, I didn't even like how Rodgers handled that situation. But I'm glad Cris Carter just called it out, and Adam Schefter did the same thing. Just, it shouldn't take this long to make a decision, bro. It's just what it is. Like, bruh, I mean, last year I understood it because, well, I understood it a little bit because, once again, you're mulling your offers. You're trying to see where you want to go. This season, you said you wanted to retire going into this year. So, look, A-Rod, it should be like this. You go into the season, I felt cool. My coach is on the team. I'm coming back. Or, you know what? It felt cool. I got to play one more time. My coach is here, but I'm good, and retire. You only have two decisions. So it's not like, it ain't like you're mulling multiple things. You have two decisions. You retire or you come back and play. It is what it is. Nobody is screaming from the top of their lungs to get Aaron Rodgers in their organization anymore. Unfortunately, now that is definitely surprising going off production alone, because off production alone, we know that Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play. But his attitude, his reputation, how he has affected certain players a certain way, how he made certain players feel a certain way, how he approached different teams, and how he, how his attitude is, how his attitude affected certain people. That has now impacted his. That has started to impact his career more than his production has. What I mean by that is, it gets to a certain point, and Shannon Sharp always says it best. That's my guy. Your production and drama. He says it a different way, but you guys get it. The drama and the production, it has a trade-off. If your production is up here and your drama is here, put in the camera. That can be tolerated. Okay. But when your production starts to get here, and it's kind of like even, and the drama's kind of more, and the production is kind of just scaling down a little bit, that's when teams say, okay, we can't deal with it anymore. That's when you stop getting offers, you stop getting contracts, you stop getting all these things that you once had, because they don't want to deal with the drama anymore. So what happens is they just say, well, the production has been good, but we don't want to deal with the drama anymore, because the drama don't outweigh the production at this point. That's where Aaron Rodgers has failed in this point of his career. Now, granted, he's a lot older, so you would expect the production to dip a little bit, but he not so long ago was winning MVPs. So he's not necessarily so removed that it's not achievable for him to be a good quarterback anymore. I mean, he just not so long ago was winning MVPs. So the production is there. I feel like he can be a solid quarterback. The problem is he got to check his attitude at the door. I love Aaron Rodgers as a person, and as, with his chill nature and stuff like that, and being a chill dude. I get that. I am too. But with the attitude and affecting teams, how you affect them, and like making teams wait on you and stuff like that, when you only really got one team to go to, that ain't really, I'm just being honest, that it's not a good look. It makes you look selfish and like you don't care about the team and like you only care about yourself and like you really should retire because if you're on a team, you're nothing but a detriment. It makes it look like that. Now, those things may not be true, but it makes it look like that from how you approach and do certain things. So, A-Rod, man, I respect your career. I respect you as a football player, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, hands down. I feel like a chill person, like a cool dude overall. But as far as your approach to teams at this stage of your career, I feel like you need to, kind of address that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just my personal opinion, but I don't know. I think you need to get together though. I'm glad somebody called it out though, for real.